So good morning. So today we have a last session on this conjugate beam method. This is third session actually on conjugate beam method. Other methods we are not going to see for deflection because this is the simplest method. If we will go for Macaulay's method, we have limitations for Macaulay's method that we cannot use that method when my EI is changing. If EI is constant, then only Macaulay's method is used. Otherwise, Macaulay's method is not used if EI is varying. So, if we will go to the slope deflection method by strain energy, Castigliano's first theorem, in that Castigliano's first theorem, if you have to find out deflection at any point, then you have to apply dummy load at that point. If you have to find out slope at any point, then you have to apply couple or moment at that point. Means if I have to find value at any point, I have to do the procedure every time for each point. Means suppose we have ABC point, we are interested to find deflection at B, then we have to go procedure for deflection at B by applying dummy load at B. If I have to find slope at A, then I have to apply couple at A and then I have to find value of theta A. If I have to find out theta at B, then I have to apply couple at B and I have to find out theta at B. Means in Castigliano's first theorem, that is strain energy method, you can find displacement one at a time. Whereas in Macaulay's method or in conjugate beam method, you can find value at any point once you have prepared the equation in Macaulay's method and once you have drawn conjugate beam with loading in conjugate beam method. Now moment area method actually is the same as your conjugate beam method. There also you have to draw bending moment diagram, and in the same way we have to go for shear force and bending moment. There we have Moore's theorem 1 and Moore's theorem 2, and by using that we are going to find out slope and deflection. You can go through it, and if you have any problem then we can go for this moment area method also, and if required or time permits afterwards, then we can go the remaining slope deflection method. Macaulay's also I am not going to cover. If you will go to the channel and if you will see the starting videos, then you will come across this moment area method. In the same way, I can post that presentation or I can make a video for your Castigliano's first theorem, but we will not go in these sessions. So now this will be last, and where I have considered different types of beam or how we can go for superposition and how we can solve the problems easily when we have to find out the value of reaction or some alternative to restrict the deflection. So now again I will go with this because this is most important. Real beam, conjugate beam, real beam, conjugate beam, free and fixed. Fixed becomes free. Then end support, simple roller as it is. Then we have continuous support becomes internal hinge. That also I have explained, because deflection at continuous support is 0 and therefore we have considered their hinge so that my moment is 0 and automatically your displacement is 0. If I will go to the 5, now at 5 we have moment 0 and that is at internal hinge, and here we have that as support. So we have this conjugate beam method and we have to go for this. Now here internal hinge, that becomes roller support, because we know at internal hinge we have that is displacement, and for that displacement we should have shear force at B. So in this way we have this real beam and conjugate beam. Now again important sign convention, we have to always keep in mind that whenever we will go for bending moment diagram, we have to plot bending moment diagram on compression side, and for this we have these arrows, that arrows towards the tension side. So bending moment is on compression side. So automatically on opposite side, we have to show that arrows. So if shear force is positive, always considering left portion. If we will consider right, sign convention are exactly reverse. So we are always considering left portion. So if shear force positive, I have slope as clockwise. And if bending moment positive, then we have this will be downward. So this convention plays very important role. So arrow's direction should be towards the tension side. That is most important in case of your bending moment diagram. So these are sign convention plays very important role when we will go for conjugate beam method. Now we are going to consider this, determine the deflection at cantilever end for the beam loaded and supported as shown in figure. Here we have taken the overhanging portion. So we have, this will be continuous beam. Now support A we have simple support, support B is now not roller support, it is continuous support. So whenever we have continuous support, that becomes your internal hinge. So now we will first go for free body diagram of this and then we will find the reactions. So if we will go for free body diagram and determine the reaction, if I will take moment about B0, that is second support, then I am going to get this value as 3.33 kilonewton. And so this is 3.33. So applying summation Fy0. So we have 63.33. That will be my reaction at the second support, which will be in upward direction. Now if I will draw bending moment diagram, now it is always preferable actually. You have to draw bending moment diagram for 40 kilonewton separate and 20 kilonewton separate if your bending moment diagrams are on opposite side. Because if they are on opposite side, then we have to find out where it will become 0 and then we have to go for remaining part. So instead of this, if that is on one side, then you can go combine bending moment diagram. In this we have on one side, so I preferred that is combined bending moment diagram. I have with one problem where I have taken it as separate. If you want, you can go for separate. Separate is always preferable because shapes you are going to get triangles and you can solve the problems easily. So now if I will draw bending moment, then we have 3.33 into 3, which is 120 kilonewton. And then we have 10 kilonewton meter, and at another support we have that is 80. Now you can see in first portion for 6 meter my EI is 2 EI, and in second portion my EI is EI. Now once I know this M diagram, then we have to go for conjugate beam. Now our beam is in this fashion. Now if I will remove simple support, then what will be in conjugate beam? Again simple support because it is at end. Now if I will remove roller support, so if you remove roller support, but it is roller, but is it roller end? No, this is roller in between. So this becomes conjugate. This becomes continuous support. As this is continuous support, so that becomes your internal hinge. So that is most important. Whenever I have continuous support, whenever you have overhang, so whenever overhang is there, support before this, that becomes continuous support. And then I have last end as free end, then that end becomes fixed end. So now if you will see your conjugate beam diagram, then your conjugate beam diagram will be in this fashion. Now once I know this conjugate beam diagram, so EI we have 2 EI for 6 meter, EI for 2 meter. Now I have conjugate beam with M by EI diagram. Now you can see where we have 10 kilonewton meter, that becomes 5 because we are going to divide it by EI, and there we have 2 EI. So we have that will be 5 upon EI. If we will go to the 80, so 80 for left portion, we are going to get that value as 80 upon 2 EI. So that you can see now becomes 40 EI. But if that 80 I will see on right side, means if I will consider this right side, and for this right side, that becomes, for this right side portion, this portion, now we are going to get it as EI only. So this becomes 80 for this portion and 40 for this portion. So that is important. So because we are going to get two values over there, and therefore we have to go in that fashion. Now you can see that bending moment diagram is on compression side, so automatically my arrow should be upward, that on tension side. So we have tension upward, so as tension is upward, my arrows are in upward direction. So now once we have this, then we will find out values of different portions. Now how many portions we have? We have first portion which is still 5 kilonewton meter. We have second portion which is trapezoidal, that is between 5 kilonewton meter to 40, and we have third portion which is for 80 to 0. So now you can see below, I will calculate these values. And then you can see over here. So we have this as bending moment diagram, and that bending moment diagram we have values. We can now see these values: 5 kilonewton meter, 40 upon EI, and 80 upon EI. So arrows, you can see that arrows are towards tension. So now once we have this, then we are going to get these values as 1/2 pi into 3, that is 7.5. Where it will act? This will act at a distance 2 meter from right side, because 2/3 of 3, and that becomes 2 meter. So if you find it from internal hinge, then that becomes 4 meter. Now you can go to the second part, which is trapezoidal. We have half into 5 plus 40 into 3, which will be 67.5. Now below this 7.5 upon EI we have, 67.5 upon EI we have. Now x bar, if we will see for this trapezoidal, then we are finding centroid from 40. So I will get this value as 1.1 meter. That you can see over here, 1.1 meter. And last we have, that is triangle, which is half 80 into 2 equal to 80, and that will be 2/3 from internal hinge. Why we are taking from internal hinge? Because we have to take moment about internal hinge only. So we have these values now, and that values we will use, and by using these values we are in position to determine the reactions and to determine the moment, and from this we are going to get the slope, and we are going to get, that is, deflection. Now we have to find out slope at A. So now I will have moment about B0. So before that EI, now you can see E is given 200 GPa. So 200 into 10 raised to 3, and I is given 2 into 10 raised to 8 millimeter to the power 4. So first you convert all values into Newton and millimeter. So now 200 into 10 raised to 3 is Newton per mm square, multiply by 2 into 10 raised to 8 is millimeter 4. So now unit I will get that as Newton millimeter square. Now you can see this. I will get 400 into 10 raised to 11 Newton millimeter square. Now we have to convert it into kilonewton meter square. Try to understand. These Newton we have to convert into kilonewtons. So if you convert this Newton into kilonewton, so what will be? We have 10 raised to minus 3. Now I have to convert this millimeter square into meter square. What will be that? 10 raised to minus 6, because millimeter to meter 10 raised to minus 3, and millimeter square to meter square 10 raised to minus 6. So what will be total conversion for this? So I have to multiply it by 10 raised to minus 9. That is most important, 10 raised to minus 9. So then what will be it? 10 raised to 11 and 10 raised to minus 9. So you can see over there, and I will get this value as 400 into 10 raised to 2, which is 40,000 kilonewton meter square. This unit plays important role, and you should know it, how we are going to calculate it. Now once I know this value, then I will take moment about B0, because we have B as internal hinge. So moment from left is 0, moment from right is 0. So minus VA into 6 plus, we have taken first triangle, that already I have shown over there, 1/2 5 upon EI into 3, that will be area, which is 7.5 into 3 by 3 plus 3, which is 4 meter from B, plus second part, that is trapezoidal, 1/2 5 by EI plus 40 upon EI into 3 into 40 plus 2 into 5. We are taking centroid from 40, and value we got as 1.11. That already we have seen, and that gives me value of VA 17.5 upon EI. as we are getting value positive, that means our assumed direction is correct and VA will act in downward direction. So now once we know value of VA, we can find it by dividing EI value, which will give me 4.58 into 10 raised to minus 4. Now once I know this value, so do not put any unit because VA will act as slope in this. So we have slope at A in real beam is equal to shear force at A in conjugate beam, and therefore we are going to get this value, that is theta A, and that we are going to get it as VA, but V is downward, so minus VA, so minus 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 4 radians. Now as value is negative, that means my slope is anti-clockwise. So that sign convention, we should be very clear with this, and we should not make any mistake while putting the direction of the slope and deflection. Now I will go to summation Fy0 because no reactions are at B. So if you separate out AB and BC, then you have reactions at B, one upward, another downward. So here you do not have any reaction at B. Actually, internal hinge is used to transfer the load of one beam to the another. And for that purpose, we are using internal hinge. Internal hinge will not carry any load. So we do not have any reaction at internal hinge. So at B, we do not have any reaction. Now, therefore, we have Fy0, that is VC also we have considered in downward direction because my arrows are upward. So automatically both reactions will come downward. So minus VA in most of the cases. So we have minus VA minus VC plus 75. So which is due to first portion where we have 7.5 by first triangle. So this value I will get as 7.5. And this value I will get as 67.5. And therefore we are going to get this total as 75. So we have this as 75, and this triangle, so 1 half 80 upon EI into 2, 1 half and 2 gets cancelled, and I will get that as 80. So this is total load, and that is equal to 0, gives me value of VC. Now VC again we are going to get as downward, but now this is shear force we will get upward. If I will consider section here, so considering section XX just to the left of C, and we are considering right part, so we have downward on right side will be positive. So I have shear force as positive, and as shear force is positive, so definitely we are going to get this as clockwise. So you can see theta A we have calculated actually by dividing it by 40,000, which is value of EI, and that will gives me value of theta B as 3.44 10 raised to minus 3, as shear force is positive, therefore slope is clockwise. Now we will go to moment about B0, and we are taking a right portion. So here we are taking right portion. So right. Now what we have right? So we have one triangle. That one triangle, that is 1 half 80 upon EI, and then we have, so if I will plot it, then we are going to get, we have this triangle over here. So we are taking moment about this, then all these arrows we have upward, then we have here reaction VC which is acting downward, and then we have couple, we have considered this couple, that is anti-clockwise, and then you can see minus VC by 2 plus 80 upon EI, and that 80 upon EI into 2, and as we are taking it as about C, so we are going to get this value, and that value we are going to get as 1/3 of 2, and then we have that as plus MC because we have considered MC anti-clockwise, and we are going to get this value equal to 0. So once I know this value, I will substitute value of VC, and by substituting value of VC, we are going to get minus 137.5 EI into 2, and then second part as it is, and then we have plus MC equal to 0. I will get MC value as positive, means whatever we have considered this as anti-clockwise, so our assumption is correct. And once I know this value, so I will divide it by EI, gives me value of MC, Now deflection, we know what is deflection. So deflection, we have bending moment. And for this one, so we are going to get actually this value of bending moment that is not at B. So we have that is at C. And then we are going to get deflection at C that is equal to bending moment at C in conjugate beam. And now if I will put it bending moment at C 5.54 into 10 raised to minus 3, which we have already calculated above, and knowing this value, we are going to get it as delta C, and that delta C value we are going to get as 5.44 millimeters. So we have this bending moment that is delta C, and that we have seen bending moment at C that is equal to delta C, and we are going to get this value as 5.44 millimeters. So this is in meters. Therefore, we are going to get multiply into 10 raised to 3, and that will gives me as millimeters. So we can go in this way. So whatever problems we have, whatever loading we have, we should not afraid of this. And if you will see the competitive exam problems, then your loading is not much complicated when they are going to ask the deflection. Because to find the deflection, it may be Macaulay's method, maybe conjugate beam method, maybe moment area method, maybe strain energy method. If you have complicated or you have number of loads and in haphazard manner, then that becomes difficult to solve the problems. Therefore, problems are not with much loads if we will see competitive examinations. Now we have next problem where we are going to get with this problem. So we have 10 kilonewton per meter and this we have 20 kilonewton. And we are interested to determine slope at support and deflection at B. So we have to find deflection at B here, and then we have to find slope at A and slope at D. So now we will go with this. First I will go for FBD, and if I will calculate the reactions, then we are going to get these reactions. You can see I will not explain reactions over here. Simply we are going to use moment about A0, and by moment about A0 I will get VD 21.61 kilonewton, and if we will go to FY0 I will get value of VD, and that is equal to 23.39 kilonewton. So if you add these two, you have 45, and total load you can see 10 into 2.5, that is 25 plus 20 is again 45. Now we will go to the bending moment diagram. So now you can see bending moment diagram we have at A 23.39, at D we have 21.61. Now we will start with bending moment diagram. Now see carefully, if I will go with B, then we are going to get B, bending moment at B 23.39 into 2.5 minus 10 into 2.5 square by 2, and that will gives me value at B, which is 27.23. I will plot it, and that we are going to get as parabola, because when we have UDL in loading, shear force goes linear line and bending moment we will get as parabola. Now if I will go to moment at C, now I will not find it from left because it is lengthy from left, but if I will find it from right, then it will be only 21.61 into 1. You can find it from left and you will check it, answer you will get as it is. So we are going to get it as 21.61, and then I have plotted at C 21.61, and then I will connect these two, gives me bending moment diagram for this beam. Once I know bending moment diagram, as EI is given constant, so it becomes my M by EI diagram only. What will be conjugate beam? So conjugate beam will be as it is, whatever we have primary beam or given beam, that will be my conjugate beam. Now knowing conjugate beam, I will draw M by EI diagram. Now you can see we have bending moment diagram above the line, means I have compression on this side, so automatically on opposite side you have tension. So my arrows should be downward, so you can see arrows are in downward direction. So now once I know these arrows, then it becomes very easy for me to go for slope and deflection at any point. Now we will go to the next part. Now we have reactions at this, and then I will find the reactions. Now we will go step by step. So now you just see this is bending moment diagram. So A1 means I have first part, which is my parabola. So this is my A1 part. Now A1 we have 2 by 3. So this is parabola, and we will have 2 by 3. 2.5 into 27.23 is 45.38 upon EI. Now if I will find x1 bar, then we will get x1 bar in this fashion, 1.56. But this 1.56 we are going to get from where? We are going to get 2.56 from this, that is from A. Then we will go to the second part, which is my trapezoidal, and then we are going to get these areas A2, and then you can see this A2 we are going to get, it will be, so this is first, which we have shown over here. Now we will go A2. A2 we have, area of this is 1/2 summation of parallel sides, and that will be 85.47 upon EI. So you can see we have 85.47. Now if you will find x2 bar, so we are finding x2 bar from 27.23, that means we are going to find out it from B, and I will get this value as 1.68. Then you can see over here 1.68 meter from B. Now I will go for A3. So A3 I have triangle, so I will go to this one. So this is my A3, and for A3 we are going to get it as triangle. And then where we have this centroid, then you can see centroid we have 1/3 of 1, which we are going to find out, that is from C point. You can see over there 0.33 meters. Now actually if we will go to this portion parabola, and here we have taken direct 2/3 of 2.5 27.23, but this is wrong, because we have this as reaction, and then we have UDL, and we have to actually find area of this by integration. Then how we will go for this? Now we have this one, these values I have shown over here. So we have theta A equal to VA 70.74 upon EI. So we have shear force positive, so slope is clockwise, and theta B we have minus Vd, and then we have this will be negative. Actually this value we have minus 70.92, and therefore we are going to get this as anti-clockwise, because we have considered section just left of D and we are considering right part. Now we will see what will be correct method for this portion. So whatever this area, how I will find correctly value of A1, that we will see now. Now we will integrate it. How we will integrate? So I know what is my reaction here. So reaction 70.74 is not reaction. This is by moment. So I have this reaction, if you remember, 23.29. So I will consider X at any point, means we are going to consider this as 23.29, which is our basic value of reaction, and then we have this will be UDL over here. So we know we have UDL over here, and that UDL we have considered, and if we will take moment of this UDL and this reaction, then you have this will be X, and then we are going to get it as 23.29 into X minus 10x square by 2, and that is from 0 to 2.5. So we will get this as, see here I got value as 45.38, and here I will get value as 47.05. So if you have to solve in subjective papers, then you have to go by correct method, that is by integration. But if you have objective, then you are going to get answer very close by using this direct answer. Then X bar if you will see, then we are going to get 1.54, and by using this you have value as 1.56. So if you will see the difference is very small, and therefore approximate we can use this area. So now once we know this, then we have to go for deflection. Now delta B we have to find out. Then we have bending moment at B. So at B, so we have reaction moment 70.94 upon EI into 2.5 minus 45.38, which is area of that parabola, into 2.5 minus 1.56. 1.56 is the centroid from A, and we are taking moment at B. So that span of parabola is 2.5. So it is 2.5 minus 1.56. And then we are going to get this value delta B 134.69 upon EI. Now as we are going to get this bending moment positive, that gives my deflection is acting in downward direction. So we have this problem, that is with simply supported, and we have EI constant, but we have UDL and we have concentrated load. Now we will go to the next problem. Now in this problem, we are going to determine slope and deflection at cantilever end, that we are going to find out at B. Now you can see I have one load which is acting in downward direction and another load which is acting in upward direction. So now if we will think, then my bending moment diagram is combination. Some part we have above, some part we have below. And in this case, I prefer to draw bending moment diagram separately. For 70, I will go separate. For 120, I will go separate. I will not plot combined diagram, because in that case, I have to find out contraflexure point and then centroid, and that becomes little bit difficult. But if I will go separate, then you can see how we will go for separate values. So first I will plot M diagram due to 70. This is downward below the line, and value we have 420 at A, because we have 70 into 6. So we have 420. Now we have to find value at C also, because if I have to find out slope or deflection at C, then this value plays important role. Or here my value of EI is for A to C and 2 EI for C to B. So I require this value at C. And at C we are going to get it as 140, because 70 into 2, it is 140. Now I will plot bending moment diagram due to 120 kilonewton. So it becomes 120 into 4, that is 480, but that bending moment diagram will be in upward direction. So if you will take bending moment due to this 120, you are going to get this bending moment as anti-clockwise, which will take my beam upward. And if I will find bending moment due to 70 kilonewton, then your bending moment due to 70 kilonewton is clockwise, and that will take my beam down. And therefore we are getting bending moment diagram in this fashion. So we have this as 480. Now what will be my conjugate beam? So we have conjugate beam in this fashion. Keep in mind, this 120 kilonewton is not reaction. It is a load which is acting in upward direction. And then we will go for this M by EI diagram and remaining part. Now you can see M by EI diagram. Now we have given beam. So given beam we have given in this fashion. Then we are going to plot conjugate beam. So conjugate beam we are in this way. Now I will draw M by EI diagram first due to 70. Now you can see this due to 70. So we are 420, it will be as it is, because in this portion I have EI, but at C we have EI on this side, 2 EI on other side. So for left portion 140 remains as it is, no change. But if you will go to CB, then you have this as 70 upon EI, because my EI is 2 EI. So 140 upon 2 EI, that becomes 70. That is most important. And then we have two portions. So this will be my area for this A1, I can say. And if I will go to centroid of this, then I have 2.33. But 2.33 from where we are going to get this value? That is from C, because I have taken 140. This is not into. So we have this 140 plus 2 into 420. So we are taking 140 plus 2, means A plus 2B. Centroid we are going to get from A. So I have this centroid 2.33. Now similarly we can go for second portion also, which is 1/2 into 7, 70 upon EI into 2, which is 70 upon EI, and that will be for this portion. And then we are going to get centroid for this, that is simply we have from B, we are going to get this value as 2/3 of 2, means I will get this value as 4/3 from B. Now I will go with second, which is due to 120 kilonewton. So this first I will get due to 70 kilonewton, and now I will go with second, which is due to 120. Now second I will get, this is due to 120 kilonewton, and now you can see these values. So we are in this fashion. Now M by EI diagram will be M diagram, because in CB we have moment due to 120, and therefore it becomes as it is 480 upon EI. So we are going to get this 480 upon EI, and now once I know this diagram, then I can find deflection at B, that is cantilever end. So we have this value 1/2 480 upon EI into 4 equal to 960, and it will act at what distance? So you can see this will act. I have this distance as 4. So 2/3 of 4, that is 8 by 3, and then that 8 by 3 gives me value as 2.67. That is from where? From C. If I have to take moment about B, then I have to add these 2 meters over here. So we have now moment that we have to find out, moment where we have to find at B, because we are interested to find deflection at B. Then what we will get? So we have theta B. Now we have first calculated slope at cantilever end, and then simply shear force. So we are going to add all these three. First value 1120, second 70, both are in upward, so plus, and third we have in downward, so we have minus, and we are going to get this value of shear force as positive, means my slope we have clockwise. So once we have this value, that is theta B, which is in clockwise direction, and that clockwise is because we have shear force that is positive. So whenever we have shear force positive, then we have clockwise. Now we will find bending moment. So we have to find deflection. So bending moment is required. So delta B is nothing but bending moment just left of B, and then we have moment of area of M by A diagram about B. Then we have first 1120 upon EI into 4.33. We have seen, we have that value uh, from B, we have calculated that value, and now from B, we have this value 4.33. So now once we have these values, we have multiplied it by centroids, and that will gives me value of delta B 459, as bending moment is clockwise. So deflection we are going to be downward direction. So in this way we have to go for these values. We should be very careful with these values, clockwise or anti-clockwise, downward or upward deflection. And then we have this will be delta B value. Now we will switch over to the next problem, which was actually asked in GATE 1998. Now just see, try to understand the problem. Determine the moment to be applied at free end for zero vertical deflection at cantilever end. Means I want zero deflection over here. So deflection due to 9 kilonewton is in downward direction. So now due to M, we require deflection in which direction? So we require deflection is in upward direction. Now bending moment diagram due to 9 kilonewton is in which direction? That is in downward direction. Because moment, if you will see over here, so I am going to get anti-clockwise, which will take beam downward. So now here I have to give bending moment so that my bending moment will be upward. And then which bending moment we have to apply? We have to apply bending moment that is anti-clockwise. So in this way, we have to go for this. Now here we are going to get bending moment anti-clockwise, and here we have to apply this bending moment that is this bending moment we have to apply, that is to take beam up, and again we have to apply it as anti-clockwise. Now we will see this. So we have this will be, and due to this 9 kilonewton, we are going to get bending moment in anti-clockwise. It will take beam downward. So here we require that bending moment clockwise. And when I will draw bending moment diagram somewhere in between, then I will get this bending moment diagram in this fashion. So we do not have this, because we have to take it up. And when we have to take it up, if I will take section somewhere here, then that section, if I will plot clockwise, it will take beam in upward direction. Similarly, if I will consider a section over here, then what bending moment I am going to get? I am going to get bending moment anti-clockwise. And if I will plot anti-clockwise, it will take beam down. So bending moment diagram due to 9 kilonewton, you will get downward, and bending moment due to this M clockwise, you will get upward. And then only we are going to get this deflection 0, otherwise difficult, because bending moment we are going to get due to this 9 kilonewton, and due to this M should be in opposite direction. Now you can see this bending moment diagram we have in downward direction. So we have 9 into 2. Now this end is free, becomes fixed. Fixed becomes free. And now we have 9 into 2, 18 kilonewton meter upon EI. So now if we will find deflection for this, so we have that conjugate beam. So what will be deflection? So now deflection we have to find at free end. So we have 1 half into 18 upon EI into 2. We are taking bending moment about this fixed support, about this. And therefore, we have taken distance from this end, that is fixed end in conjugate beam. And that will be 1 half 18 upon EI into 2 multiplied by 4 by 3. But if I will draw bending moment diagram for this, then we have this bending moment diagram upward, and value I have m by EI into 2 into 1, because it will act at 1 meter from this end. Bending moment at cantilever end is 0. So at this end bending moment is 0, and we are going to get bending moment at fixed support, because we have to find deflection at that point. And then if we will go these calculations, so delta downward due to 9 kilonewton, and due to m kilonewton it is upward. So these should be equal and opposite, and then only my deflection at free end should be 0. And then I will equate. So we can see 18, 2 get cancelled, these 2 and these 2 gets cancelled, and we have 18 upon EI into 4 by 3, and that is equal to moment of this m upon EI into 2 into 1. And then from this 3 gets cancelled with 18, we have 6, and then we have this 2 also gets cancelled with this, and then we are going to get it as 3. And if you will calculate m, then I will get m equal to 12 kilonewton meter. Means if I will apply m as 12 kilonewton meter, but the positive value I will get it, means I have to apply it in which direction? I have to apply it in clockwise direction. And then we are going to get 0 displacement at cantilever end. In the same fashion, we have next problem, and then we will stop. So you can see we are interested to find the reaction at B. You can see problem. Now, if you will go many of the competitive exams, you will come across this problem. Now, this is a problem we can solve by any of your deflection, or you can go by Castigliano's second theorem also, or we can go by the slope deflection method, moment distribution, which is in third year structural analysis too. Now, if you will plot the diagrams, then you can see delta due to load should be plus delta due to reaction. We have this reaction that is at this B, this reaction, and that should be 0. Why 0? Because displacement is not allowed at B. Means displacement due to load should be equal to displacement due to R. Just we have last problem. There we have calculated M. Here we will calculate R. So this is known as superposition. We are going to superpose displacement of one on the other. And now you can see, now I will not explain this, because we know we can find displacement if you remember the formula. That formula for W, if you remember, then you can go directly also. So we have delta load plus delta reaction, that should be equal to 0. This equation plays important role. Or you can write delta load equal to delta reaction, because delta load is minus and delta reaction is plus. So in last example, as we have delta due to 9 kilonewton on left side and delta due to m on right side. So one and the same you can keep on one side, or you can write it on another side. We are going to get it as same. So now we have, this will be beam, and we have RB. Due to RB, what will be my bending moment? RBL upon EI. And then we have conjugate beam with loading. So compare these two. So now deflection due to left hand side should be equal to deflection due to right hand side. And now we have in the next, you can see, first we will go deflection due to this loading. So what deflection we are going to get? Delta B. So we have just left. So we have 1/3 WL square upon 2EI into 3L by 4. So we have this one first. So we have actually L over here again, because this will be area. So 1/2, this will be base is L and height is WL square upon 2EI. And that will gives me value as WL4 upon 8EI. So this will be delta B due to load. Now I will go delta B due to, which is downward. Now delta B due to reaction. Now you can see this. Now I will write it. Delta B due to reaction. So we have area of this 1/2 RB into L upon EI. L will be the span into where it will act 2/3, because we are taking moment about B. So from where I have to take centroid, I have to take from B. And now we have delta B reaction, and that will be in upward direction. So that will be RB L cube upon 3ER. If you remember the formulas, then you can take delta directly WL up 4 upon 8 EI, and for concentrated load we have RB L cube upon 3 EI deflection. Now I will substitute it. Delta load plus delta reaction equal to 0. So due to load we have minus, because if you will see we have in this fashion. So minus WL 4 upon 8 EI and plus RB L cube upon 3 EI. So once I know this value, because why minus? Because bending moment due to this we have clockwise, and we know clockwise means downward direction, and bending moment due to this we have anti-clockwise. When we have anti-clockwise, that means that is in upward direction. And then if you will solve this for RB, and you will get value of RB that is equal to 3WL upon 8, because my total deflection is 0. And in this way I can find the reactions by superposition of one on the other. So this is about your conjugate beam method, and today we will actually stop here only, and that completes your conjugate beam method. So other methods I am not covering now, because if we will talk about your competitive exams, one of the method plays sufficient for your competitive exams. Others if we will take afterwards, or I will make video and put it on the YouTube channel. So now this will be about your conjugate beam method, and